All phones on vibrate.
Hey, Coach.
Hi, Sandy.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jonathan Scott. Welcome. This is the show that you really want to listen to find out what's happening with the NFL. As usual, our guest, Mario Moneyline Longobardi. Say hello to everybody.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm good. Just any least are about to hear to say all night. And Jeffrey with a G, what do you have to say for yourself?
Jonathan, good to be here. Thank you for a second week in a row.
Let's start off by talking about the Chiefs-Chargers games if we can. I covered the Chargers covered. I made the over by a fluke of God, having seen them throw an interception past the 1 yard line. Mario, what do you have to say about that game?
Well, last Saturday on the show, I said that the Raiders would feel good about themselves because they had the Chiefs on the schedule on Sunday, and on Wednesday I said the same thing about the Chargers playing the Chiefs. They are definitely the elixir for what ails you. That Chief team is in big trouble, and I think it's from the head down.
Well, Jack Daniels is the elixir that ails me. Jeffrey, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm stunned that game went over. 10-6 going into the fourth quarter. I think we all caught a bit of a Hail Mary there, but I like you had the over and was very happy to catch it as well.
Me too. Last week I hit a 5-teamer, 2 4-teamers. How did you do, Mario?
You're on a hell of a roll, John.
By the way,
And I actually was 8-5 on the Sunday games. I was 8-5 against the spread, which is pretty good. I heard you can make money being 8-5. Right, Bobby?
I said to everybody last week those 15 and a half points. Take the points. I don't know.
Give you kudos. I saw you during the week and I said, congratulations, that was a great call on the Jaguars with the 15 points. It was never really close in jeopardy.
No.
But how could you not take 15 and a half points in an NFL game?
That's exactly it. I mean, we got a game this week, same circumstance.
Well, we don't have
See how
15.
that
What do we
plays
have?
out.
11 on the
11.
Packers?
Yeah, Packers laying Big Wood again.
Same team.
To a wounded bird. Regardless.
Well, let's get right into it. You get some things here in New Yorker. Let's talk about New York just for a second. The marathon I know is coming up, and that's a big topic. And what do you think as a native New Yorker?
Born and raised in New York. My family, they live in Brooklyn and Dyker Heights. And my sisters both live in Staten Island, fortunately inland, not near the water. I was shocked on Thursday morning. I started to perceive how bad Staten Island got it, because at first it was all about Lower Manhattan and the Jersey Shore. And I was just amazed at the devastation in Staten Island, and half of the deaths in New York are there. So I do agree with playing the Giant game because it's a different circumstance than the New York Marathon. It was idiotic to think you're going to cut a 26-mile corridor in a ravaged city and try to run a marathon, stealing generators and cops, policemen from another area to run a marathon. So I was glad they came to their senses to cancel that. Giant Stadium, MetLife Stadium, different circumstance. It's got power. They have their own security. They're not robbing from Peter to pay Paul, so to speak, or support Paul. So that's my take on it. My friends still don't have power, some of them, and in fact, the New York Giants, 80% of the team does not yet have power. And we're going to talk about that as the game leads up, because there's an incredible mental edge that's got to go to Pittsburgh here, because the fatigue factor with these players caring for their wives, families, and otherwise, and it is dipping into the freezing numbers tonight. And if you don't have a generator, which of course all pro football players would, but still, it's a fatiguing thing. So we'll talk about that when we cross that barrier.
Well, once again, we're coming to you live from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. And if you're near a computer, you can find us on the web, and we're actually streaming live on VegasSportsNuts.com. I'm Jonathan Scott. And let's move on to the game number 1, the 10 a.m. game here in Las Vegas. Denver Broncos versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Broncos are -3.5, over and under 47.5 margin.
Well, I think one of the stories of the year is the fact that Peyton Manning is up for MVP candidate. He just won the AFC Offensive Player for October, completing 75% of his passes. It's just amazing to watch this guy work. And I knew guys like Eric Decker were cut from the same cloth as who he used to throw to back when in Indianapolis. I still call Baltimore. That's ridiculous.
Jim Irsay would be happy.
Yes, Jim Irsay would. But I think that the Cincinnati Bengals team, they're pretty battle tested. They can beat anybody on any given day, and I like them here with the points. And I would even, if I was a gambling guy, as some people say I am, I would throw a little money line to the way of the Bengals here.
Mario Moneyline Longobardi, Mr. ML, Jeffrey with a G, what do you say?
I agree with Mario. I think Peyton
You're not
Manning-
supposed to.
Well, I do. I don't. In other words, I agree that Peyton Manning has this team clicking on all cylinders, and they are only getting better and better every week as their chemistry builds together. In addition to Mr. Decker, Demarius Thomas is having a great year. They have a nice little combo running game in the backfield. And a little note to those who like to bet: Peyton Manning lifetime. 7-0 lifetime against the Cincinnati Bengals with a touchdown to interception ratio of 17-3. I'm taking Denver, lay the points. I think
Yo,
they
yo,
like that
yeah.
points.
I'm taking Denver too, and I'm going under on the 47.5. That's just
Okay,
the
if
kind
you
of
take a
guy.
guy like Demario Thomas, though, that is what Peyton Manning brings to your football team. This was a guy that they all said, well, we don't know about his work ethic, we don't know about his attitude on the field, and boy, you put a commander-in-chief in the right spot in the field, and suddenly everything seems to click.
Who's
It's
the better
all about
looking? Who's
Peyton
the
Manning.
better looking of the quarterbacks?
Here we are. I think that Eli's better looking than him.
Get out of here.
Well, we're not talking about Broncos.
Oh, the Red Rocket. Well, it depends. If you like redheads, which I know you do, then you have to say the Red Rocket here.
The Red Rocker. All right, let us know what you guys
Rocket.
think. Red Rocket. No, that would be Sammy Hagar would be the Red Rocker, wouldn't
Right,
it?
yes.
Again, VegasSportsNuts.com. Tune in. You can see us live on VegasSportsNuts.com. We're brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara, where if you've got a new toy, we were sponsoring the Toys for Tots program. There's a brand new white Escalade with a red bow on it. If you bring a wrap toy up, you get 2 tickets to go to our Toys for Tots benefit concert at the LVH Hotel and Casino on December 1st. And if you're a golfer, we're looking for foursomes. We're looking for golfers for our December 1st golf tournament, which is providing scholarships for veterans. You can find that on the web at dec1golf.org, standing for December 1, dec1golf.org. Arizona Cardinals versus Green Bay Packers. Packers, that's what we're talking about, as we call them in Chicago, the you-know-what Packers. -11, 44 is the over and under. Mario Moneyline.
Well, it's easy to love the Packers, though they don't have Jordy Nelson and also Jennings playing. But you need only look further than last week, no further than last week, to see that they did not cover a big spread against Carolina. Cobb's out and Red Skelton's in.
Red Skeleton.
Yeah. Skelton's the quarterback. I had to throw that in. I know you're a
Is
nostalgia.
that Hector and Heathcliff? What's going on?
But it was embarrassing watching that 49er Cardinal game. I mean, that was men versus boys. The Cardinals could not average 2 yards a play, including pass plays. They do
They're facing the same kind of defense of this week.
No, and you know, I think it's an easy game for the Packers to overlook. Although I do think under McCarthy, they tend not to do it as much as they did under Sherman or back in the day, the Packers when they had great teams. I'll take the Cardinals with the points, 10.5. I'll take it again. I'll learn my lesson from Carolina last week.
Did it move down to 10.5?
10.5, 11, depending where you look.
LVH has it -11. Jeffrey with a G, what do you say?
I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to come back with the Packers again. I got to figure that Mr. Rogers and company are going to put it together finally, like we saw a few weeks ago with that 6-touchdown performance. I saw nothing out of that Arizona team against the Niners on Monday night, and I can't imagine them going to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field and doing anything more.
Well, they do have a good secondary, the Cardinals do. A lot of talented guys back there, but their offense just sets the defense up for the fall. I mean, they're constantly giving field position away, and on a short field, Aaron
I
Rodgers.
did not know that Jordy Nelson was out in addition to
Well, he's doubtful. He didn't play last week, so
maybe Jermichael Finley can show up finally.
yeah, he's been out. He's been AWOL.
I don't think it's a frozen tundra yet.
No, not
No,
sure.
it'll be chilly though, it'll be cold, and those folks in the
Well, it's
desert.
an early game at least, so
They're coming from the desert, and they're not going to be used to those 30, 40 degree weather.
Dolphins versus Colts. Dolphins -2.5 in Indianapolis. 43 is the over and under. Mario, what do you say on that?
Well,
Don't take my pen.
Well, if you like taking the odds that are available to you and not giving away -110, I kind of like the Colts at +125 here on the money line. Miami gets sky high for the Jets. They always do, and they did that last week. Now they're coming off that game, and how the heck is
Heck.
Miami? I said heck. We're on live radio. How are the Miami Dolphins road favorites here? I know that they're a better team than they've been, but with Tannehill or Moore, it's very unsettled who's starting. I like Indy here, and you got to mention Andrew Luck here. This is one of the topics I wanted to bring up. 4-1 Andrew Luck is in his 5 games that were decided by 6 points or less. And if you think that's not a statement, North Turner's 3-7 in his last games decided by 6 points or less, and Ron Rivera and Cam Newton are 1-9 in their games decided by 6 points or less. Somehow this kid Luck pulls it out in a team that is not laden with that much talent. I'll take the Colts.
He might be Rookie of the Year. That might be Rookie of the Year. We're going to take a short break. Again, brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas. And the LVH, where tonight you can see Love and Lyrics, an R&B show over at the LVH Hotel and Casino, formerly the Las Vegas. So stay right where you are. You're listening to Vegas Sports Net.
Streaming live.
Oh, it is?
Niners, Patriots, Jets, who else? Rams.
Who do you want to mention about?
What?
What teams do you want to talk about? What do you got?
Doesn't matter, my team's not even in.
I saw last week when I was
Niners, they're not even in this one. I'm by.
You're on the bye.
Jets aren't even in. Can't even talk about them, I bet they are. Yeah.
Coming out of break, coming
There's
out
no
of
lose, no lose.
Oh, okay.
Ask him to say that again.
Huh?
He said you got about, what did he say, 30 seconds?
30 seconds, come out with big applause again. About the end of the third, right after the news.
Change it. Change it.
I saw that. Thank you. That was quick. Took you so long.
Mention you have both. Number 8.
I sent it to them.
Have to be.
I see it
That's
wasn't
such a close
exactly
game to
right
call,
size.
but
I
I'll
see it
give
stretched a little bit, but I took out what it was, I used that size and I thought.
I actually like the Saints this week.
That's a familiar voice, I recognize that voice. Welcome back to Vegas Sports Net. Free drinks. I don't know how we can do it. We've got free drinks if you stop by while the show is on the air. Again, Vegas Sports Net's coming to you from Murphy's Law. Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Let's get back to the Fish versus the Colts. Miami Dolphins. Mario, you got more to say on that game?
I just have one other thing to say about this game. If you look at the last 5 games that both of these teams have played, they have not played that formidable of a competition. So it's hard to gauge teams that haven't really been too tested. So that's why this game really is a crapshoot.
Jeffrey with a G.
I could be crazy. I think the Colts beat Green Bay earlier this year, no?
Earlier this year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think you have 2 young quarterbacks here. I think it's a close game. Miami's playing very well on the road. I also think they're going to be a little let down after that huge game against the Jets next week. I'll take Luck at home. He's getting more and more familiar with his receivers, with his backfield. That defense is starting to play a little better. They pulled out a nice overtime win last week.
Speaking of the overtime win, how about Vic Ballard's
Corkscrew in the air, reverse.
backwards with the ball extended, no fumble, head first
One of the nicest
to win the
touchdowns
game.
you'll
What an
see.
unbelievable
Highlight
overtime
of the year, I
walk-away
think, so
game.
far. I'm going to go with the Colts as well. At home, get the points.
All right, let's move on to Ravens Browns. I like to quote Matt Yeomans from the Review Journal. Matt says that on Ravens over Browns, blasted in Houston before the bye. Baltimore's in a good spot to get well. Road favorites following a bye are 24-3. Ravens coach John Harbaugh will fix his team's problems, and he has a far more talented team. Cleveland, off a phony 7-6 victory over San Diego, looks ready to get blown out. Mario.
Well, if you're going to finagle a victory, 7-6, you do it against North Turner, and that's what Cleveland did. Baltimore got shellacked 2 weeks ago by the Texans by 30. So John Harbaugh had plenty to talk about for 2 full weeks during the bye. They've won their last 5 versus Cleveland. Suggs will be back to form. I didn't think it was a good idea to play Suggs, but then when I saw his performance, he was ready. Gives him a tease of some play, then he gets 2 weeks off. I think it's the perfect scenario for him to have a big game. Joe Flacco was the guy that let his team down. They needed him to step up against the Texans in the wake of Ray Lewis being gone, and he did not. This is another one of those games where there's 19 guys on the injury report with 16 probable. I'm starting to doubt, the validity of some of these injury reports. They're just laden with too many players, makes it harder to handicap. Not that that should be
You
the
learn from
reason
Bill Belichick.
to do an injury report, but I don't know how 19 guys are hurt, and there's a team later on that has 20 on the injury report.
What has Brown done for you?
Yes, what is the Browns?
Jeffrey G.
I gotta tell you, I like the Browns. I think they've done a great job this
They
year.
played a
Being
tough schedule.
competitive, they played a very tough schedule.
schedule.
However, I have to go with the Ravens in this game. I think you give Harbaugh 2 weeks to get his team ready. After that shellacking, Flacco's going to be better. You're going to see the Ray Rice show all over Cleveland. And you're going to see Anquan Bolden. You're going to see a lot of little mix and match. You're going to see the defense step up. Obviously, they've had a little bit of time to adjust without a play with Ray Lewis, and they also lost who's the other guy they lost in the backfield.
Nazis at nose tackle and then Webb on the corner.
Webb. You know, no Webb, no Lewis, but I think they've had time to adjust. The problem I have with this game is the number. I'm looking at 3.5
Love
and
the under in
4s.
this game.
3.5 and 4s all over the place. At 3.5, I buy it down to 3 and take the Ravens. I also like the under. I think you're looking at about a 27-10 ball game here.
And the previous game, I love the under too, the Dolphins-Colts game. I think that's 2 unders from teams
From
that
somebody that never usually likes the
I don't,
over-unders at all.
maybe out of the 14 games, I like 3-4 over-unders.
Alrighty, well, once again, you're listening to Vegas Sports Nuts coming to you from Murphy's Law on Flamingo, just east of Maryland Parkway. Stop on by, have a couple of free drinks on us. Brought to you by Cadillac of Las Vegas on West Sahara, where you can drop off a new wrapped toy for Toys for Tots. And also at the LBH tonight, Love and Lyrics, an R&B show that you should really check out. It's going to be a great show. Bills and Texans. Texans minus 10, 47.5. I've got to go under just because the number's 47.5. Mario.
Well, I like the over right out of the gate on this game. And the history proves it. The math that I do works out to about 53, so whenever I see a 5-point differential plus like that, I'll take the way it is. I like the over. I like Houston laying the points here. Houston's been a tried and true favorite this year. They're 5-2 versus the spread this year, and they've been prohibitive favorites in many of those games.
A lot of points, 10 points.
I know, but Buffalo is another team that if you need a win, you'll reach down and get one from.
Well, that's what I mean. I like the 10 points on Buffalo.
Well, actually, I'm saying though, they're like the Chiefs. You can get well against the
You know what they
Bills.
say, right? Use the Bills to pay the Bills.
Shane Gailey will get outcoached terribly at many points in this game. They're 5-11 in the spread, against the spread on the Bills in the last 16, and they're constantly getting points. So it's not like they don't keep trying to keep up with how bad this team is on the field. They have the worst defense in the NFL, and I don't think this Mario Williams story playing his old team is any byline at all. Mario Williams, a tremendous underachiever.
Absolutely.
Tremendous underachiever.
Jeffrey with a G, what do you say?
I have to agree with Mario, unfortunately.
Again?
I hate doing it.
Man, oh
The
man.
guy's wrong 9 times out of 10, but I have to agree with him again.
Thank you very much.
Houston is absolutely amazing at home. That offense is clicking. Their defense is unbelievable. They're both coming off bye weeks. They've had some time to get their act together. Buffalo's a mess in the backfield. I don't know if they're going with C.J. Spiller or Freddie Jackson. Is Fitzpatrick still the quarterback?
I tell you what, there's nothing like a finesse back like Spiller being drafted by Buffalo. I mean, talk about the worst possible scenario
He came
for a
out
back
the
like
first
him.
couple of weeks.
Oh, I
on
know,
fire.
but once you have film on it, I mean, the Bills' lack of, production on offense, their ability to block, the ability to throw the ball down the field. Fitzpatrick.
No, Stevie Johnson. I haven't heard much
Well,
of him.
because it starts with Fitzpatrick. I mean, no sooner did they pay this guy than his quarterback rated him the tank. I don't know what the Bills' rush was last year. They started out the season 4-1, and they threw tens of millions of dollars at Fitzpatrick. It made no sense then, and it makes less sense now.
We got to travel on the road here. Houston's on a great place for them to play. They're horrible on both sides of the ball. I'm looking at this like a 35-17 ball.
Yeah, they're gonna lay it, and they might even hit the over by themselves. You might see Houston score 48 points.
Well, I'm going to take the 10 points on Bills.
Okay.
Panthers over Redskins. Again, the world according to Matt Yeomans. Expect Carolina quarterback Cam Newton, who Mario loves, to take the challenge from Griffin seriously. Newton desperately needs a win. The Panthers have been close to a breakthrough. Washington worn down after road losses to the Giants and Steelers. Been a weak home team under coach Mike Shanahan. Mario.
Well, I'm going to blame Tommy Thompson for liking the Redskins last week because I followed suit and I had a ticket that I threw in the garbage.
We all did.
I got sucked in. I think that the Steelers just opened up a couple of canisters of film of the Giant game the week before, and they decided how they were going to go.
The Giants.
No, not that the Giants did so well against RG3, but it's still recent film. I think there's a huge coaching edge in this game, huge. Shanahan over Rivera. I know you love Chico, but
Former Bear, I have to.
I know. He has to run the ball. Man, what did they pay the two running backs for if they don't run the ball ever? They got Cam Newton running student body right and left. Somebody's got to coach this kid.
D'Angelo Williams playing this game?
He was on probable
He was out
week.
last week. I know Jonathan Stewart took most of the
Jonathan
carries.
Stewart's definitely starting the game.
And RG3,
And they got the 28th ranked defense through the Redskins, so it's not like they're impenetrable. And, you know, I think that Cam wants to win this game.
I agree.
And I think that the Redskins might win, but it'll be a 2 or 3 point game. I like the hook. You'll win with the hook if you bet Carolina Panthers this week.
I like the Skins and I like the under on that one.
I love the under. There's a few over-unders I love this week. It's not my MO.
Detroit Lions versus Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Detroit minus 3.5, 44. Jeffrey with a G, what do you say on that one?
Dangerous, dangerous game. Detroit has been absolutely underwhelming. They can't get out of their own way. Their defense is horrible. I think Megatron's not playing, is playing.
Someone's going to come out with an injury report that's realistic about this guy, and they're going to say he's been really hamstrung this whole year.
Still has 1 touchdown on the year.
Yeah, but you can't take him out of the lineup if he's drawing double coverage, so it's worth
Totally
keeping
agree.
in there.
He
But
has-
Will you stop agreeing with him?
he's at 75%.
He hasn't been in practice the last 3 days.
That's what he
He's
is.
not even practicing. So, I mean, I don't even know what this guy's going to do. And as Jonathan made us aware of last week, the Jaguars have a pretty decent defense. They went into Lambeau, held the Packers pretty tight for 4 quarters. I can't imagine what they're going to do to Detroit.
Well,
I'm going to take the Jaguars at home with the 4.5 points.
Oh, it's moved, okay, well.
I do not agree with you here. This is Detroit's breakout game. Jacksonville has the 27th ranked defense, and they might not be as bad as that ranking as you just alluded to. But when you have the lowest scoring offense in the NFL, as do the Jaguars do, you're constantly put in bad field position. And I think Detroit's going to find Pettigrew, whoever. They're going to get open for some big plays. And you know, again, Stafford's another one of those guys that has got to be reined in by the coach and coach play to play. So far, it is.
Hasn't done it the first 9 weeks. I don't think he's going to do it this week.
Let's move on to my game of the week, the Chicago Bears against the Tennessee Titans. The Bears. 429 Chicago Bears minus 3.5 in Tennessee. 43.5 is the over and under. Always a tough number on over and under. Chicago Bears, Jeffrey with a G.
The Bears impressed me coming back the way they did against Carolina last week. No one expected them to be that close to begin with, but they hung tough. They never gave up, never threw in the towel. I think they go into Tennessee. I believe they're 6-1 on the year now. I think they continue what they're doing. Jay Cutler, a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what you're getting. I think he's going to do a good job this week. Brandon Marshall having an absolutely monster year. Matt Forte, a beast in the backfield, and I happen to love the over in this game.
I love the over in
I
this
think
game
it's
too.
a high-scoring affair. I think it's a 28-21, 27-20 ball game, and I love the over in this game and the Bears.
There's a huge differential
Bears?
in the math. I do like the Bears. I think they do need to run the ball and get Matt Forte going. They are on a streak of 5 straight. They have a tremendous defense. You got to love this defense.
Urlacher on fire. Urlacher, a man possessed.
Donijay, they come from everywhere. Julius Peppers. I mean, they're just
Peanut
incredible.
Tillman,
But that's Tillman, my God. Tillman, who led
stripping the ball out how many
He's
times?
a turnover machine, and he scores. He takes it to the house when he gets it. They become a healthy team too, of the Bears. The one thing you got to be leery of if you're betting the Bears laying the 4 is, are they looking past the Tennessee Titans because they have Houston on the schedule next week? That's the only thing that I'm going to say. But Hasselback is a statue back there, and his Bear defense is going to kill him.
Bear down, Chicago Bears. Once again, you're listening to Vegas Sports Nuts coming to you live. And we'll be right back after this message and the news.
Just so you know, Camille's team had a furious comeback today and almost tied the boys. Down 3-0 the boys. The girls almost tied them.
Only 1 minute for each.
How many goals you scored?
No, but
Oh,
she
we
plays
did.
defense.
Oh. Was that?
He was gonna be 30. So I'll give you that.
Yeah, you did. That ball went wide by a foot. She went coast to coast like Bobby Orr. She wears number 4, I call her Bobby Orr. When she sees the defensive zone all the way through, Bobby Orr was a great line. So he would take it behind his net. Fake 5 people out.
Let's bring Bobby Nash in.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, I'm gonna scoot you out for a minute. Robert?
Bears will win this one.
Glad it-
Oh, they gonna win.
You think?
Are you gonna chair me over?
Huh?
I won on the last couple times.
I've been on one.
Sandy, you have material?
Yeah.
I've been on last week and I'm lost though.
We're gonna do
Good
5.
job, Jeffrey. Good job.
Not bad.
Boss.
He's the boss.
You gotta come prepared with Mario. He's got his numbers ready.
Yeah.
Where's your light?
Now, when I'm gonna talk about good looking quarterbacks, you
Hey, trust me. All right, how close do I have to be to this microphone?
What's the score of the Oregon
Favorite
game?
mascots?
I don't
the
know.
team was coming back.
Huh?
They scored right before the half, 34-24 at halftime, they're about an
I
over.
saw that.
That's an over's over.
58,
Hey, Mario,
total 70.
cutest mascots.
Oh, what do you
Good
think?
bugger. The Georgia
No, just say,
What?
they get the nicest outfits, the cutest mascots,
Uh-huh.
Isn't it? Hey,
like the Bears. They come, aid somebody.
yeah.
Get a big class.
They just like-
It's fun. Oh, I'm ready for that.
Oh, what do you think? I'm just gonna be cutesy.
Absolutely.
Thought we were only a minute.
No, at the 30 minute, it's
Yeah.
about, you got some spots and then you got new.
How much time?
Check it out.
Yeah, so you.
Hurricane Sandy lives.
Hurricane Sandy.
1 minute, that's it.
Middle of the hour, you got a little bit of.
Hurricane Sandy.
Mario, 41-31 Oregon.
I'm doing what I've got you.
5:14 in the third.
62 points in this 20 minutes.
72 points. They're gonna go over 100.
What's the score?
41-31 Oregon over USC.
And we're gonna.
Where's K-State?
What was K-State doing?
They were losing 7-0 earlier.
You see Notre Dame get out of that game alive?
Horrible. Would have loved to have seen them lose.
Emil and I watched that.
That's okay.
Notre Dame.
Hi.
Because as long as they stay undefeated, you know they're gonna be chanting for a shot in the title game.
I know.
K-State 24-17, 5:28 left in the first half. Oklahoma State. That over is, I have the over, it's a dead, easy over. Every week I play K-State over.
So what was the number on Oregon USC over? How did you
70. 70. 8 and 70.
7 over. With 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's already over. 7.
Well, I gotta fix it. Doesn't matter. You gotta-
Looked like you were trying to bring us some of that Indiana rain.
Georgia Tech won 222 to That's the most lopsided game.
Tommy, what's your stuff on Bears or,
Maybe 80 years ago, Georgia Tech won 222 to nothing. Worst.
Offense is unfucking real.
If you could believe that. Everybody should. That was like blood left from both eyes and the bus. Okay.
It's hot in here, right?
Georgia to
Yeah.
Is it warm in here?
There's no warm.
to nothing.
Yeah, these don't help either.
222 to nothing. Georgia Tech, 1925. I know. How's it possible? It's like every time you hit the ball, one play is an 80-yard touchdown.
That's like 30 touchdowns, right?
No more. 210.
31 touchdowns?
41 and a half. He kicks a field goal late in the game.
Field goal and a safety?
Late in the game, they call timeout to kick a field goal.
And then what, took a safety?
15 seconds?
15 seconds, quiet on the set. We have music in here now.
Jonathan Scott coming back to you from Vegas. VegasSportsNet.com. You can watch us live, streaming on the web and also on YouTube. Next up, we've got Sandy Castell